What's up, everyone, and welcome in to your Celtics source, home of your 6-7 Boston Celtics. And this was such a needed win for the Celtics after that disappointing, crunch time loss to the 76ers, and really just a bunch of disappointing losses. Not all in a row, but over the series of a couple weeks, they, have, let down, let down in multiple occasions throughout games. And so going into, an extended couple of days off here, it's nice for the Celtics to get a win. And they're not playing anyone, right? The Memphis Grizzlies are very much a team without an identity, especially with Ja Morant sidelined and really, putting up a series of, complaints about this team. Ja Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies are at odds with each other, and so this team is very much in shambles because of that. And they don't really play, once they go down, the lead just continues to grow with them. Their deficit, at least, because they just give up. And we saw that tonight, right? Once they got down by, 20 points in that second quarter, they sort of gave up and let the Celtics just steamroll to the win. But the Celtics are not playing well either right now, and so, they took advantage of it, which is nice to see. I thought it was a pretty even game in terms of offensive production. This team has had definitely their struggles with offense throughout the course of the start of the season here. I think this is a season high in 131 points. But more importantly, the even scoring, right? Neemias Queta, White, Brown, Pritchard, Jordan Walsh, all had 15 or more points. In fact, all of them had 20 or more points besides Jordan Walsh, who picks up 18 points. But Jordan Walsh is building off of, a great game against the Sixers despite the loss. He starts today instead of Josh Minott, who I think has lost his starting role for the time being. I've talked about this before, but it's really with Joe Mazzulla. If you play well, you'll get a second chance to start, or you'll get a chance to start. And if you don't take advantage of it, you'll go back to the bench. It's really a who's playing well at the moment with that, fourth and fifth spot in the starting lineup. Really just the fourth spot, because Neemias Queta has played well on both ends of the floor, well enough at least to be getting the start each and every night. Especially because, Luka Garza and other guys have not, held up their end of the at least offensive production. Defense is a different story, but defense isn't the problem with this team, right? They're one of the best teams defensively in terms of total points allowed per game. Right? I think they're holding teams above or below 110 points or something like that. So just a great defensive team. It's the offense that's been a problem. But in this game, I talked about Neemias Queta a little bit. Neemias Queta has, found a way to, I don't know if found a way is the right word, but has greatly improved on his pick and roll offense, coming off of screens with Jaylen Brown, Payton Pritchard, Derrick White, whoever it is, and diving to the basket. Just easy offense for a big guy that Neemias Queta hasn't been able to do through the first part of his, career. And so it's great to see that in this game, he is able to, build on some of the habits and things he's been working on away from the game in practice, and just continue to get better at, he's not a shooter, and really he's not a great, mid-range kind of guy either, but he's become a great above-the-rim threat over the last couple of games, which is just fantastic to see. 13 points in this game. 6 rebounds, 2 assists. My bad. When I said everyone was above 20 points, I was looking at the minutes. 2 guys were above 20 points in terms of points. Derrick White, Payton Pritchard. Jaylen Brown finishes with 19. Jordan Walsh had 7. Nemi's kid had 13, so he was third. In terms of the starters, I think Luka Garza actually had 14 points off the bench, but obviously a lot of those are coming in garbage time. But Neemias Queta, I'm just happy to see that he is improving, because there's lots of flaws with him. He's part of the problem on the offensive end, and his dedication to getting better is only going to help this team. Derrick White. Finally, a good offensive night from Derrick White. And yes, it's only 20 points. He plays 26 minutes, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. But the 6 of 11 and 3 of 6 from 3. A night where he is knocking down open shots for the first time in ages. Such a sigh of relief, because we know as Jaylen Brown goes, this team goes. But increasingly more important is as Derrick White goes, this team goes. Because you can't win with just one offensive guy. You need 2. At least 2. Maybe more. And so I'm just happy to see that Derrick White, it seems like in this game, continuing off of his performance in the 76ers game, is out of his slump. But what else in this game? I think we have to talk about Payton Pritchard, 24 points, a team high, 8 of 15, 5 of 10 from 3, 6 rebounds, 9 assists, almost a double-double. This was Payton Pritchard's best game of the season. Just knocking down shots, playmaking. He had some excellent no-look dimes to Josh Minott. He would get into the paint, and then he'd no-look toss it to Josh Minott for a dunk or a layup from him. So just a brilliant playmaking game from Payton Pritchard, as well as the shooting, knocking down open shots. Right? He, like Derrick White, was struggling from 3 to start the season. But it seems like both of them are out of their slump, which just, basically sets, I wouldn't say sets, but just, gives me hope that this team can get back on an offensive track. But, what else is there to talk about this game? There's not really that much to talk. It's a, pretty easy win. You have the Clippers coming over the weekend. You have, 4 days off, though, which is great. Right, because they don't play till Sunday, so they have, a bunch of days to get better, rest up. Although a lot of the stars didn't play in the fourth quarter. I'm gonna wrap it up here. Follow on social media. We will have a podcast episode coming this weekend. On Saturday, we're gonna talk about Jordan Walsh and his emergence into the starting lineup, and maybe he can be a big key to this season's success, and maybe he's found a way to make an impact league-wide, which is great to see. And then we also have to talk about Jason Tatum, because I think Jason Tatum maybe shouldn't come back this season with the way this team is headed right now. But until next time, go Celtics.